A proverb a day makes the folly go away. Proverbs 10:19. When words are many, transgression is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. We mentioned this in the last Proverbs, thinking before you speak. It's very crucial in life. It's very crucial in today's age. People will use your words against you with the quickness. And people will mistake your words if not used properly and lightly. The last thing that we want to do is get in a situation where we're being called out or we get into some mess that we didn't even want to be into because we said something. Now, we see this a lot, of course, in social media. Oh my gosh. The amount of times that I've seen like YouTubers reacting to videos of just the stupidest things that people say on social media, whether it be Instagram or TikTok, and then they have it in 4K. 4K. These people are just saying a whole bunch of ridiculousness and a whole bunch of nothings, or just things that just straight up don't make sense. But they felt the need to share. Did they think about what they were going to share? Yeah, they probably thought about it. They're just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say that, I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna talk about this person, I'm gonna talk about that person, and I'm gonna talk about that person. But did they really sit back and think about the consequences of saying what they said? You see people on podcasts, and this is interesting when it comes to podcasts. And depending on the podcast that you actually join or be a part of, you can easily set yourself up. If it's not somebody that you know personally, they can easily just take, not that I would know, but they could easily just take the information that you said because it came straight out of your mouth. They got it in 4K, remember. And just post it because it's going to get reaction, it's going to get clicks, it's going to get views, but it's going to come at the detriment of you because of what you said, because you didn't think, because they talked about a topic where it kind of riled you up, or it hit that sweet spot in your heart, or maybe you poked at a sinful behavior that you're struggling to battle with, then you just openly talked about it because you're proud of that sinful nature. These type of things happen. They happen a lot. For instance, I think it was Maya Khalifa. I forgot who it was, but it was somebody on the, what's that podcast called? I can't even remember what that podcast was, but it's about that one girl. She just curses a lot. And I think she was talking with somebody that she came on with. And I think she made that person very uncomfortable. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the way it was because she got the potty mouth like crazy. And she said something that offended a lot of people. Yes, I think it was her because she had two people there with her and they felt very uncomfortable when she said what she said. I don't remember. I can't recall exactly what it was. I think it had something to do with Jesus and I don't know, something that had to do with Jesus, and it offended a lot of people. But it's like these are things that you're just saying out of your mouth, and you're just saying it because you want to say it, and you got a lot of backlash because of it. Now, was that backlash affecting you right now? No, because that was a couple of months ago. But at the end of the day, we got to be careful about the things that we say, or not even too much careful, but we need to stop and think about the things that we say, the things that we talking about, where we're saying it, who we're saying it with. Now, that goes into a sense of, well, if you say things versus somebody and not say those things with somebody else, are you really being truthful? Yeah, there's some validity to that. But the idea is to not say anything, not incriminating yourself. Let's put it like that. Not incriminating yourself. You ever find those situations where you find those people that like to talk? I like doing that a lot. When I'm trying to get information, I'll ask questions and I'll dance around whatever it is that I'm trying to get specific information on. And I try to get my evidence based off of the information that they give me. And I'll just ask and I'll ask and I'll ask. And eventually they'll incriminate themselves so much that I can then go back and be like, yo, but you said this, and then you said that, and then you said that. And now here we are with this situation. So you tell me that you didn't do that? And then on top of that, I pull out my own evidence. But I like the incriminating part because it shows that you really got to have the wisdom. I mean, even then, when it comes to wisdom, how you use the wisdom for good or bad is really subjective. But wisdom is just a matter of being able to think, to assess, to understand the situation. Now, again, depending on what you're using the wisdom for, it's either going to be worldly wisdom, which is kind of witchcraft, or wisdom that's given from God. Now, if you're using wisdom that's given from God, you're not really going to use it for evil intent to come up with lies or to berate somebody or to find schemes. That's not what you're going to use your wisdom for. That's folly. But you're going to find your ways to help better yourself, help better somebody else, and prevent things that you don't want to say from being said. Then that prevents you from having to lie. There's that as well. Now, wisdom shows up in the ability to hold. Wisdom can show up when you're able to hold your tongue. That's when wisdom really shows itself. There are definitely times where it's important to hold your tongue. I think the main gist of this is that we need to have the idea of I don't need to say everything that I feel. I don't need to keep clapping back online with the one girl that just keeps talking mess or the one dude that keeps commenting on my video. I don't need to do all that. I don't need to do that at all because you expressing how you feel and I'm unfazed. It's unfortunate that you feel the way that you do towards me, but that's not going to affect me. And we don't want to be canceled at all, especially when it comes to, nowadays you don't want to be canceled for the things that you say. So sometimes it's better to just not say certain things if it's going to be clear, which is interesting because had this been the administration before, there's a lot of stuff I would say. A lot of things that I've been talking about, I would not have been able to talk about, which is craziness saying it out loud. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that I can say absolutely everything that comes to mind. That's also ridiculous. And we don't want to lose relationships because we don't want to close our mouths. Now, again, that can be subjective because some things you can keep out of your mouth. Some things you can keep silent about for the sake of friendship, or relationship. But I think that really depends on what it is that you're. And I think timing is also very important as well. But at the end of the day, if you say something that's true, that's objective, and somebody else doesn't like that, then that just requires a conversation, some understanding that has to be had, as opposed to, I don't know, me talking junk about something or somebody or trying to open up an old wound because I was upset with a friend of mine, something like that. That's not necessary. That's when you need to stay silent and bite your tongue. Even though somebody's making me upset, I don't go and make them upset type thing. You bite your tongue on that. But at the end of the day, guys, don't take my word for it. Read the Bible yourself. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Take it easy.